They are at war with us.
At war with who, Jesse? Tyler Robinson and his family don't look like trans liberals to me.
And now I have to deal with real safety concerns. It sounds like the shooter was a tranny or pro-tranny.
Where, oh where has all the outrage gone? We will break down the details of who this guy was in a second, which shouldn't matter, and really the only reason they do is because the right made them matter, and now MAGA is eating their fucking words over it. Even Donald Trump himself couldn't keep up the charade of feigned humanity after it was revealed that a young white man who grew up in a conservative family in a conservative state shot Charlie Kirk.
My condolences on the loss of this. How are you holding up over the last 3.5 days?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks. They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House.
But I refuse to give their hate and violent rhetoric an instant more of time than is necessary. And I implore you to stick around so we can instead focus on what we know about this man, and then end by focusing on the other lives that have been horrifically and tragically eradicated from this earth recently that deserve just as much, if not more, recognition than one fascist, and then talk about how you can help those people. So drop a like and subscribe to help us here at Really American fight back peacefully against this hate. And unfortunately, in order to do that, we need to face it head on. Here are the heinous things that the right wing didn't have the bare human empathy to not blurt out their face holes in the immediate aftermath of this horrific, tragic event.
The left has been saying put a bullseye on Trump, a bullseye on his supporters.
Charlie Kirk's a casualty of war. We're in this country. We are.
They are at war with us. Whether we want to accept it or not, they are at war with us. What are we going to do about it?
This shit ends. Like, enough is enough. And now I have to deal with real safety concerns. It sounds like the shooter was a tranny or pro-tranny. And just because I want to protect women, that I'm worried about getting murdered? Are you kidding me? It's out of control, and enough is enough. And I'm going to double down on this. I'm going to be more vigilant than ever. I'm going to be louder than I've ever been until this shit stops.
Wow, Nancy, is this you within 36 hours? Time to bring back the death penalty in reference to the shooter you thought maybe, potentially, there was a shot in hell that was trans? And now that we find out he's not, you shifted tone pretty hard and pretty quick. We know Charlie Kirk would want us to pray for such an evil and lost individual like Tyler Robinson to find Jesus Christ. We will try to do the same. We truly believe if Tyler Robinson had ever sat down across from Charlie, the great debater, the man of faith and grace he was, Tyler wouldn't have pulled the trigger. You know what I know? If Tyler didn't have access to a gun, he never would have pulled the trigger. But no, folks, according to the right, ever since then, we've been at war.
They are at war with us.
At war with who, Jesse? Tyler Robinson and his family don't look like trans liberals to me. Tyler's family is registered Republicans. His father is a minister and former law enforcement. They have family members in the military. Oh, and Tyler's parents introduced him to weapons at an early age. Now look, this is obviously Twitter. We'll get to the verified stuff from actual reporters in just a second. But what the we're at war with conservative Christian Utahs? Where do you see anyone on the left saying that we need to get these white Christian men out of our country? We need to put them in concentration camps because they are infecting and infesting the blood of our communities. And some of them may be people, but some of them are animals. Where's that rhetoric? Where is it? Did this sole individual just declare holy war on the entirety of the United States? Do you see now how you look like a idiot? Tyler Robinson, the 22-year-old in custody as the suspect in the fatal shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk, registered to vote with no party affiliation, hadn't cast a ballot in the two most recent elections. A family member told investigators Robinson had become more recent in political years, and in particular had lashed out at Kirk. Authorities discovered anti-fascist messages engraved on ammunition with a rifle near the site of the shooting that hint at a political transformation. They included one that said, "Hey fascist, catch," another appearing to reference an Italian anti-fascist song. And also, the FBI didn't even catch this guy. He confessed to his parents, who then turned him in. Other engravings on the rifle and ammunition hinted at more connections to online trolling and memes, including one that said, "If you read this, you're gay, LMAO."
Charlie Kirk's killer was an edgelord final boss. This is what happens when you have an entire generation of young men raised on people like Charlie Kirk, Andrew Tate, and the manosphere in general. This dude wasn't an agent of the Mossad. He's a white Mormon boy who was raised around guns his whole life, who even in his very final act of violence decided to put edgelord phrasings on bullet casings.
Oh yeah, and he donated to Trump's campaign. And of course, the conservatives online are yet again moving the goalpost because they are absolutely beyond help in this situation. They are immediately the ones calling for political violence after this happens, and then when it doesn't fit their agenda, they silence themselves and move on as if nothing happened, just like Donald Trump did on the White House lawn. I'm doing great. Look at the ballroom. What did you say about Charlie Kirk? And for that reason, all of them, I will not spend a single solitary more ounce of time talking about their stupid behavior and insane hypocrisy. I'm done giving them the time of day and acting like their views actually matter, because they don't. What does matter is that the person who shot up the Evergreen High School, killed 2 people, almost killed 2 students, and then fatally shot himself, was apparently radicalized and appeared to hold anti-Semitic, violent views in online accounts. Now, which side of the political aisle do you think that algorithm might be? The right-wing manosphere? Probably. And this, in and of itself, is the problem, right? The right-wing violent ecosystem that these algorithms lead people down, and then the unfettered access to guns. But on top of that, it is our collective disassociation in this country to and from the absolutely horrific atrocities that are happening across the world day in and day out. As this was happening, Israel killed more Palestinians in Gaza, more children, more people who probably shared a similarly violent and horrific death as the one Charlie Kirk did.
The reason that video was particularly traumatic and disturbing, and it's not just because of the incredibly graphic nature of it, it's also because this was a person that you knew. Like, this was somebody that you knew as a living, breathing human being. And it's very bizarre, to say the least, to see the life of someone that you know just violently end.
And because I know it is frustrating that we feel like we can't do anything. We can't affect the gun policy in this country. We can't affect how much military aid goes to Israel to fund a genocide in this country. I get how it is easy to want to hide your head in the sand. And I get how morally bankrupt, no empathy conservatives who want nothing more than to be right and own the libs and be violent love to just shove their heads either in the sand or up Trump's ass to pretend like nothing's wrong, or that there's nothing they can do about what is wrong. Well, f that. Here's what we can do. This is a content creator by the name Yuval the Terrible. He's on TikTok, he's on Instagram. He makes great content. Most of it is actually pretty fun and engaging and funny. For instance, he recently did this video, Usain Bolt versus Joey Chestnut, the hot dog contest guy, on who could eat a hot dog and then run 100 meters faster. A fun 6-minute video, 4 minutes of which is all that, and then the ending of which he used, and this video got over 2.4 million views. The ending he used to shout out a friend of his who is in Gaza who has a GoFundMe. And so I already know I kind of hated all over these conservatives and right-wing people, but I want to end this by doing what all of us should have done from the start. I will leave the link to this person's GoFundMe down in the description, as well as some gun safety advocacy sites that you can also donate to if you feel that that is more your style. But this was Yuval's response to Charlie Kirk's murder. And I think the world could use a little bit more of this and a little bit less sticking our heads in the sands or violently pointing fingers with no evidence.
It's really not something you are ever meant to experience. And again, we're talking about somebody that you knew, not even like on a personal sense. Most of you have never met or even seen him, but still, the fact that you know who he was makes this feel particularly strange to process. That's why a lot of you who saw the video probably are wishing you hadn't, because that's just not the image of a human being that you would like to have in your head when you think of them. Outside of course, the already incredibly graphic nature that would make this incredibly difficult to watch either way. Just the fact that you knew who he was adds a personal level to the trauma that should not go unmentioned. As you're experiencing this, please keep in mind that whatever you're feeling right now is probably a fraction of what an entire population of people have been feeling nearly every single day for the last 2 years. My friend Ahmed's fundraiser is still in my bio, and he's actually almost at his goal, which is great. Because when his family experiences this, it's not through their phone. It's directly in front of them. And instead of it happening to just some internet celebrity that they had seen videos of, it's happening to people that they love and care about. If you're able to donate just the minimum amount, $5, to his GoFundMe, I know he would really appreciate it. Because I know he, as well as I, would like to make sure his family stops experiencing this as soon as possible.
Thanks for watching, folks. For Really American, I'm Kenny Hesse. I'll see you guys in the next one.